When I took a break before starting Canary, I actually traveled to Tokyo and Korea, part of my old stopping ground from the TradFi world, to see what was happening in crypto over there. Because I don't know if you saw this, Nate, but um, when it comes to trading pairs, you usually think that, okay, the US dollar is the dominant trading pair for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. But for several points in time, the Korean won is the dominant trading pair. And it actually took over as the dominant trading pair in Q4 of 2023, Q1 of 2024. And I said, look, I've got to get over there on the ground, see what's going on, see what they're looking at. And I already had it in the back of my mind that HBAR was quite interesting because it had real enterprise applications. We've already established that Bitcoin is the king cryptocurrency. But what about enterprise applications, which is really the next step here? And not only was I looking at it from that perspective, big industrial uses, enterprise uses, it's a little bit different than your typical blockchain. But when I was in Korea, I realized that it was a top 5 traded token. And there was also a lot going on there. And by the way, that's also how I got to focus on XRP, because it's another one that's huge in Japan, huge in Korea, and they usually lead the way in technology. Those two countries. I mean, that was something I learned from my days in video games, right? Those two countries led the way in video games. They had a version of the iPhone 5 years before we had the iPhone. They were using it for consumer purposes when we were still on commercial over here back in 2007. So that's really what stuck with me was, okay, HBAR. Nobody else is looking at it. I've got an opportunity to be first if we do something there. So let's go out and lead with one of the leading enterprise blockchains that I don't feel like anybody else is paying attention to.
The altcoin season index is still around 89 to 90. And I know it's going to be a lot of people, the doubters, the naysayers that look at the market today and be like, oh, Bitcoin hit 100K and everything's crashing. This specific video, we're going to be talking about Hedera, HBAR. So if you like these type of videos, make sure that you like and subscribe. My name is Crypto Millie, and I talk about crypto daily. And I want to let you guys know something. I think that this is an important note, and a lot of people who are coming into crypto or hold crypto, they're not realizing that retail is smarter than what we think, right? The normies, right, are a lot more smarter than what we think, right? A lot of people would, at some point, I would say, downplayed the normies, right? Expecting a lot of the new people or the people coming back to crypto to buy into low caps and mid caps and things that have maybe good pumpamentals, but not a solid foundation as far as team, everyday use case. A lot of people thought the new people was going to come into crypto and buy meme coins, right? Buy these meme coins, but that's just not happening. I think you need to have a portfolio that's built in a form of a house, right? A house has a foundation and then everything around it. And I think the blue chips are the foundation of your portfolio. I also would recommend you guys getting a ledger. You know what I'm saying? Getting a ledger, right? I got a ledger. I got a tangent, because as the market gets a little bit more hot and the greed goes up, so does the scammers. And I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people are thinking like, well, we're coming into crypto into this eased regulation because a lot of pro crypto people are in the house. Now, yes, that is necessarily true, but there's also a elephant in the room, right? And the same thing that we see, the scammers see as well, right? So these scammers, they're going to prey upon new people, prey upon influencers, prey upon celebrities, as we've seen from the Haley Welch situation, right? I don't think specifically it was her. I think it was the people around her that kind of boosted her up to create this token, create this coin, right? So they could make money, right? Utilizing her fame, right? The same thing with these scammers, right? These scammers, they send out links. They'll do anything to get your crypto, right? So I'm saying that to say this. You're probably wondering why I haven't started talking about HBAR yet. Guys, I usually go on these rants, and the videos have been doing very, very well as of late. So I appreciate you guys. Make sure that you like and subscribe. But I'm saying that to say this. They're gonna fuck this up, right? They're gonna mess it up. The scammers gonna mess it up, right? We seen it from Pump.fund when they added the live stream situation that they had on Pump.fund. And then at first it was going well, and then everybody just started messing it up. And the same thing is going to happen with crypto, right? There's going to be a lot of new people in crypto that try to do things that they truly don't understand, and then they're going to hire people that they think that have their best interests, but they don't. They do not, right? And this is why you often hear me say, and this video is going to be a little bit longer, guys. We'll get into the Hedera information. Bear with me. But this needs to be said, right? You also often hear me say, well, you know, this is going to be my last cycle talking about crypto. And it will, right? Because the one thing that I've figured out is that you can't please everybody in crypto. I know how it is to have people you think that are in your corner think that have your best interests, but only have their interests. And you can't ignore the fact that crypto is PvP. It just is, right? No one, you know, it's kind of fucked up, right? Because you got good people out there that have good intentions that maybe don't understand everything about crypto, but want to deliver. And it's the people around them that they trust with developing these things, creating these things, coding these things that fuck them over, right? And that's going to be the reason why they can't be lenient with regulation. And that's going to be the reason why you need to have blue chips and utility tokens, and the ones that are closest to the government, that have those connections, that have that backing, because a lot of this stuff just isn't going to be around. So Hedera, in my opinion, I believe is one of those ones. And I know somebody said in the video, oh, tell a person to hold for 5 to 10. I'm not telling anybody to buy a crypto and hold for 5 to 10 years. But we need to understand, right, that at the cusp of where we're at, right? Let's just talk about Hedera for an example, right? These are not all of the members on the council. These are just a few. So Google is worth $210 billion, right? Something crazy, right? IBM, 210, it's something crazy. IBM, 210 billion. I forgot. Google is worth 2 trillion. I don't know why it said billion. 210 billion. Boeing is worth 116 billion currently. Deutsche Telekom worth 159 billion, and LG worth 10 billion, which there has been allegedly rumors that Samsung could be coming on the board as well. So when you think about these entities that's on the Hedera Council, right? When you think about all of these entities here, right? It's hard to imagine something like this failing, right? Because these are already successful entities. And I'm going to get into why I believe Hedera will get an ETF possibly before something like Solana. I could see XRP and Hedera getting the ETF before Solana, because HBAR specifically caters to enterprises. This is a chain, right? That's tailored for not just retail, but enterprises. And I'm going to get into why this is actually huge, guys. I've opened my eyes to understanding that we may be in an area for something like HBAR, for example. You got to look at it like buying Amazon or buying Google far before it reached a $2 trillion market cap, right? This is an example, right? And these are entities that all sit at the council, make a decision. Very, very wealthy families behind some of these entities. So this is the time right now, as Bitcoin continues to go up and we get that altcoin season, where you need to make a decision, not only what cryptos you want to be buying if you're new. If you already have a portfolio, guys, just chill. According to the Bitcoin power law, we always hit the top of the band, which is the red area. We hit it in every cycle, which would put us somewhere between 196,000 and 292,000. So when people ask me, well, how high do you think Hedera is going to go? Or well, how high do you think Jasmine is going to go? It's really hard for me to give you a precise guess, because we honestly don't know how much liquidity is going to pour into this market. We know crypto is here to stay. We just don't know what cryptos are here to stay, right? We've seen things even in the top 100 capitulate. So anything can go to zero, but I think that this is one of those projects, and to be honest, Hedera is not even a project. It's actually a US company that if BTC was able to go to 196,000 and higher, we should see a lot of liquidity pour into something like Hedera. In fact, there's already bets on Polymarket that people are putting their bets that Bitcoin get 120K by the end of the year. Actually, 47% chance. So let me know inside the comments what you think about that. So back to the original statement, it's kind of like, guys, yeah, we could play around with the DEGE and stuff, the low caps and the mid caps, but I think the real money over time, when we think about assets appreciating over time, the real money comes from the projects that actually have government and institutional backing, and those are the ones I think that you should focus on, right? These flash nukes are nothing in altcoin season. I agree here with Dream, but also, guys, I said this is the beginning of the end. You're not in the beginning of the market. You're actually a little bit closer to the end. We're like 75% in, right? But this is the part where it's the most fun, the most lucrative, but also the part where a lot of people lose money. So this is, it's very, very important to practice security now. If you have a portfolio, don't chase green candles. If you have conviction, stick to the ones that you have conviction on. And if you got extra money or extra stables on the side, maybe 20%, 30%, maybe you play around with memes, but you don't have to put a lot of money into those very, very high volatile projects to actually make money in crypto, right? According to Miles, the easiest way to screw yourself at this stage of the cycle is to over-rotate, which I agree 110%, right? But I wouldn't ignore something like Hedera, right? When you think about the DREC Alliance, these are the projects right here, Algorand, Cardano, Hedera, and Ripple, that are most aligned, in my opinion, with the government and the institutional interest that we've really been waiting for, Wall Street, to get into crypto. I think when they get into crypto, as we've seen from that... I don't know if you guys, well, if I edit this video, I'll put the video in the beginning, but there's, I think it's called Canary. They filed for Hedera ETF because of why Hedera was, tailored for enterprises. So if we go to our presentation here and why Hedera can possibly get a ETF, right? Let's actually go to some of the key features, right? High throughput, up to 10,000 TPS, low latency, energy efficient, right? A lot of the institutions like this. Fixed fee structure, predictable transaction costs. This is something that Hedera shines in, and this is something that institutions look for. And they also want something that's not going to like freeze and have downtime like Solana, right? This also has top tier security according to asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerance governments by global enterprises, which we talked about, like Google, IBM, and Boeing. They also have real world applications. So this is an RWA project that's embedded with Avery Dennison. When you think about supply chain, their own personal stablecoin with Shinhan Bank, IT workflows, tokenization, you can actually create meme coins, NFTs, whatever you want to do, payments, instant and low cost transactions. And then we got to get into why, people would, be choosing Hedera against something like Solana. For example, Hedera offers lower fees than ETH, faster transactions, and greater energy efficiency while maintaining strong security. So pretty much solving the blockchain trilemma. As far as the comparison to Solana, Hedera is more decentralized with enterprise-grade governments offering greater stability and trust for businesses. And this is why, in my opinion, Hedera could get an ETF. Enterprise adoption by globally recognized companies, broad real-world applications across finance, supply chain, and identity, scalability, security superior to many blockchain competitors, positioned as a direct competitor to ETH and Solana, sustainable in alignment with ESG principles. So these are some of the things that a lot of these institutions are looking for, and they want to be aligned with the winning team, right? Are you going to as a free agent, right? You might, you're gonna want to choose the winning team if there's available to team up with the winning team and become a super team. Why would you choose the opposite, right? So in crypto, go follow your heart, right? If it makes sense in your head, more times than not, it makes sense. And we've been talking about this for 2 years on how it makes sense to align yourself with the winning team. All right, so not to add, you are seeing whales here accumulate Hedera, right? So not a single whale has sent HBAR to exchanges yet, indicating further incoming supply shocks as more HBAR is being sent to cold wallets. Guys, also I told you, man, get you a ledger, get you a Tangent, man. Don't be playing around here having your stuff on the computer, bro. But again here, you could see that if we just go here to, from a charting technical analysis on the monthly, Bitcoin still looks pretty strong. The UST dominance is losing a little bit of that selling volume here, but it's still sitting here at support, which is about 3.9%. We want to see it break the support and head into this gray zone so we can finally start preparing our exit strategies and taking those profits. But of course, something like Hedera, I would leave a moon bag because this is a project that I would compare to buying something like Amazon and Google in its early stages. And we just don't know how or what this will become in the next 5 to 10 years. So just don't underestimate it, because I've seen a lot of people off this original pump here. Like, I'm taking profits, I'm taking stuff off the table. But guys, just realize that we don't know what these projects may look like in the next 5 to 10 years. And that can go both ways. So nothing wrong with taking profits, but just understand we don't know, what these things will look like. And not to add, the HBAR dominance here has absolutely exploded off support out of our golden pocket. And it's showing that people are interested. Look at the volume here with the HBAR dominance. This is a monthly chart that there's a lot of interest here with Hedera. But the chart that really I have my eye on is the HBAR BTC chart here. If we can break above our golden box and put in a higher high against BTC, that would be bullish, because it's extremely hard for an altcoin to put in higher highs and higher lows against the Bitcoin pair. That also would confirm an alt season, and also would confirm that the alt season attention will most likely be on stuff that has backing, that has government backing and institutional backing. And that's why we're seeing something like that from Hedera. And not to add, every time we see a capitulation of the Bitcoin dominance, we get generational wealth based on altcoin season, according to what you put into the market, right? Everybody is not going to make generational wealth. Let's make that clear. Everybody is not going to make it in crypto. And I can tell, and again, I can tell there's a lot of new people coming into crypto just by the comments. So I want to make this clear. If I'm going too fast for you guys, understand that I'm kind of used to talking to only crypto people. For the last 2 years, it's been like only crypto people, so I can say something and most crypto people kind of understand the lingo. I'm warming up to my understanding here that there's a lot of new people that truly don't understand charting, TNA lingos and things of that sort. So as I'm bearing with you guys, please bear with me. I come with the humble spirit and just with understanding, right? I'm not no expert or no analyst or nothing like that. I just, I'm tapped into the market most of the day, and I'm able to deliver some of the things that even I'm learning across the day. So again, generational wealth has always happened for those who are allocated properly. When you see the ETH, Bitcoin, and other dominance kind of like come together. Both of these were bull markets that came together, and we've seen insane gains throughout the altcoin market here. And of course, the ETH chart is starting to break up. Now, I know break to the upside. Now, we need to get above this resistance here, but once we're able to turn the resistance to support, this is going to be bullish for something like Hedera. Now, here Hedera, what a lot of people don't understand, is not really per se. It's just a good correlation here with ETH. With ETH, you can see it's not a good correlation here with ETH, as you can see for 0.25. But I'm not basing ETH with HBAR. I'm basing ETH to kick off the altcoin season, which will take HBAR with it. Now, what you want to pay attention to is something like XRP, because if XRP starts flying, what would have we noticed is that XRP and HBAR have a very, very tight correlation together, sitting at 0.76. So this is easy to make money, guys. If you see something in the top 10 that's popping off, go see if your project has correlation with it. If your project has correlation with it, it's a good chance that your project is going to pop off with it, right? So when XRP pops off, you'll start to see a lot of the DREC Alliance also pop off. So just make it a little bit easier for people to understand. We're also seeing the TVL here, volume and price start to tick to the upside here with Hedera, which tells me that there's still potential. I just think there's a little bit more potential than people think. I think a lot of people are taking profits a little bit early based on just being the beginning of the altcoin season, just the beginning. So we still got to figure out, you know, when the Coinbase, the rankings and the moonshots and the Phantom, when all of these things are like top 5, top 10 in all of apps, then I'll be more like, okay, I'm taking my profits from Hedera. I'm just going to leave my moon bag, et cetera, guys. So just have understanding that even we just got into altcoin season. We just got into it, guys. We just got into it. We've been faked out twice. It's hard to believe that this is a fake out, but I do think there will be corrections along the way. I think the big correction probably will be January 20th, as most people will take profits and take things off the table. Because even though Trump is going to come out here and say some things about crypto that's bullish, that's kind of like the catalyst, right? And if he doesn't deliver, like we've seen from something like with Elon Musk and Dogecoin, the prices are going to tank short term. But because there's global liquidity starting to be printed globally, I don't think it's something that's going to halt altcoin season or halt Bitcoin just yet. Maybe a little later, the latter of 2025, maybe Q3, Q4, selling may go away. That little area is always rough, no matter bear or bull. But outside of that, I just think that there will be some pretty nice corrections along the way, and corrections are good for projects, in my opinion, that have institutional and government interest. So let the word to the wise be efficient, guys. I just wanted to point that out because we get wrapped up into like trying to get into like mid caps and low caps, and yeah, they're cool, but make sure the team is not selfish. Make sure that they kind of like practice security, like that they stand for security, meaning that they have integrity and that they're not worried about price go up, but just more focus on delivering whatever that may be, right? If you're going to buy low caps, mid caps, which we got some pretty good mid caps and low caps in the portfolio, but these are teams that are delivering. These are teams that aim to focus on security over everything, because in crypto, guys, one day you can have it all, but also one day you can lose it all. So let me know what you think about HBAR. I believe HBAR is a enterprise graded governance, high performance and broad use, and is positioned, in my opinion, as not only a blockchain leader, but it could possibly get an ETF a lot more sooner than you think. Let me know in the comments, what are the chances Hedera, Solana, and XRP get an ETF? 20%, 50%, 100%. I would love to know everybody's opinion. It's your boy Crypto Millie. I'll see you the next one.